One of my first memories in life is my older sister and my older cousin playing The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time in a dark, dirty bedroom upstairs. I looked up to them immensely. They were the cool older kids, and I so desperately wanted to fit in. I didn't have many friends. It was mostly my camcorder and my Batman action figures. Seeing them traverse the water temple while I watched from the hallway changed my life forever. They eventually taught me how to play. The controller was so big I could barely hold it in my hands. I remember riding Epona in Lon Lon Ranch around the track and barely even being able to stay on the path. I was so amazed. At the time, the graphics seemed so realistic and lifelike. The adventure had begun. My neighbor had a save file that was beaten. He actually had two. One I could play, the other I couldn't. I couldn't play the other one because he had only died 3 times and wanted to keep his death counter low. Traveling across the vast beauty of Hyrule Field was so breathtaking and seemingly endless. The sights and the sounds of the overworld seemed so intoxicating. The outside world as a kid felt so dark and scary, but the world of Hyrule felt so safe and exciting. And finally, a way to escape the pains and the terror of the world. The different villages and areas housed my real friends. Kakariko Village felt like home. It felt warm and safe, with cozy little houses with warm fires and big smiles. Upbeat music and villagers prancing around merrily felt just right. Kokiri Forest felt like a true childhood home. That's where Link's house was, with no parents, and free of the judgment of others. A place where everyone knew my name and no one disliked me. A place where people actually enjoyed talking to me and made me feel accepted. The Lost Woods existed above the little forest village that was so dangerous but also exciting to venture into. Very similar to the forest above my real childhood home that I spent many summers in alone. The Great Deku Tree provided me with a feeling of a role model I so desperately searched for. The beginning of the game finds Link collecting rupees, and that created a feeling of accomplishment I had never felt before. Castletown felt so alive, with all the shops and citizens gathering and dancing. The music was so uplifting, and it gave me a feeling of being an important piece of a bigger puzzle. In Castletown sat the Temple of Time, a massive church with beautiful, breathtaking architect. Inside laid a pedestal where you could insert the Master Sword. And with that, travel 7 years into the future and turn into a 17-year-old, which seemed so old to me at the time. As a, quote, adult, I felt so powerful and unstoppable. I felt I had the strength and courage of a superhero, and I so desperately needed that feeling as a child. I could fight all the monsters I wanted, and I often imagined I was defeating all the monsters I saw in real life. The monsters were loneliness, not being enough, fear of the outside world. The monsters go on and on. Traversing the massive lands of Hyrule was an endless adventure. Staying up late with nothing but the glow of my TV was a magical, safe experience. In fact, I took it one step further. I moved my little TV into my closet and hooked up my N64 and played N64 in the dark on the floor of the closet. I felt even more sucked into the land of Hyrule. If I wanted to do it, I could do it in Zelda. I could accomplish my dreams. If I wanted to swim, I would spend countless hours swimming in the endless depths of the clear blue water of Lake Hylia. In real life, I was terrified of deep water. In Ocarina of Time, the fear never crossed my mind. My mom took me to a swimming class with a diving board. I was too paralyzed with fear to jump off. So I went home and spent hours jumping off the waterfall into the pool below in Zoro's domain, and convinced myself that I was Link, and if Link can do it, so can I. The next swim class, I jumped off the diving board into the deep end, and I did it because of Link. I felt more brave. I felt safer. I felt more courage in the outside world because of my time spent in the beautiful world of Ocarina of Time's Hyrule. In times of pain, I often remember trying to climb up a cliff and falling, or fighting a big temple boss and dying. And I remember how powerful and brave I feel when I finally achieve my task. Ocarina of Time gave me the tools that I needed in my life. It gave me a sense of security and an escape when I needed to run and gather strength. It allowed me to feel like a brave little boy who had the strength and courage to accomplish anything I set my mind to. I felt safe enough to adventure into the world, the same way I ventured into Hyrule Field. Although Link might have been afraid, he had the strength and the courage to conquer his fears. Link allowed a scared little boy to conquer his fears and gave him the comfort to have an adventure. And I've been on that adventure ever since. All because of Ocarina of Time.